Okay, so this is the start of a new tournament, which I'll be live commentating each game individually, similar to the draft. This one was called the Gym Effect. I'm told this is some sort of reference to a video game, but I'm, believe it or not a gamer, so this has gone completely over my head. So you have to choose a side of either Renegade or Paragon, and whichever side you pick dictates what Pokemon you can choose. The sort of restrictions are on the screen, and I was immediately drawn to the Paragon side because well, nothing on the Renegade side really wants to deal with the fire from the Paragon, and nothing on the Paragon side wants to deal with water from the Paragon. I mean, water isn't easy for Renegade to deal with either, but I feel like poison's there as a sort of way of getting in things like Venusaur and Victory Bell and that sort of stuff. So there will be grasses there. A dark type as well. I'm expecting to see Shiftry, Steel, Ferrothorn. So there are grasses there. Whereas on the Paragon side, there aren't. So I feel like the Paragon side have good matchups against the Renegade side. So with that in mind, I wanted to start building my team around a really heavy-hitting fire type and a really heavy-hitting water type. So the fire type was what immediately jumped out at me, to be honest. So I'm going to start with Ninetales because what wants to take an overheat? I think Ninetales, if it gets a 1 fire spin advantage, peaks Umbreon in the zeros just because overheat hits that hard. So yeah, I wanted to start with Ninetales. And then Swampert as well, just because it's incredible all-round stuff. So Swampert and Ninetales are the sort of core that I'm building around. And immediately there's a couple of things that jump out as being potentially problematic to that core. The first of which is Xylus. Yeah. Now, fortunately, on the Paragon side, I also have Fairy and Psychic. So, Xylus and other Swamperts and Mud Boys, particularly the Swamperts. But because I've got Fairy and Psychic on my side, I'm obviously going to take a Charm User to deal with the Dark threat. Wigglytuff's the one that people go for. I'm always a big fan of Gramble, but this time I'm going Togekiss. I think it was an important thing to deal with the Swamperts a bit easier, a bit better to have a harder hitting charm to stop the Swamperts from getting to 2 Hydro Cannons, and which would enable you to win the 1 shield, which Togekiss and Gramble do. But Wigglytuff doesn't, if I remember rightly. So I was keen on Togekiss or Gramble. Togekiss was the one I went for in the end, just in case there was anything on the other side that had like, any mud slap users or anything like that. And I also thought that, we spoke about the fire coverage being great versus the other side in general. I also thought that the flamethrower might be more useful than a close combat from a Gramble here on this side. And I'll probably run it with Aerial Ace again, just because I don't really want to spend another charge TM on Ancient Power. So, but it's got Aerial Ace as well, which is less energy than anything Wigglytuff has or anything Clefable has. So it's going to get Force of Shield in those sort of Fairy type mirror matches as well. So that's good. And then Psychic types, I wanted a counter using Psychic type. So I've got a Psychic type that can take on the Xylus. And given the weakness I've got to the Mud Boys, which is somewhat alleviated by the Flying type on Wigglytuff as well, Wishcash is going to have a tough time. I thought I'd go with Medicham rather than Deoxys, because I don't really want to be walled by the Mud Boys or have to use Psycho Boost to drop my attack. So Medicham over other Deoxys there. And then Hypno. Oh, sorry, also on Medicham as well. Medicham's just generally good against Renegade as well. It's neutral against ground, super effective against steel, super effective against dark. And I'll probably run Psychic on it to hit the poison types as well. So Medicham's looking really threatening against Renegade. And then to the last two picks, I wanted to sort of be a bit more anti-Paragon. I've still not got a real answer to Mud Boys. So I was looking at Ludicolo, but it's very, very niche and you've got to get it lined up right. And it's sort of a bit of dead weight versus the other side. And then I managed to get hold of a double Legacy Dugong from a friend. I don't want to use my Elite TMs on Dugong because I'm convinced that they will nerf Icy Wind. But my friend had a 2016 one with double Legacy and I was able to trade and get decent IVs on that. So I'll be running Dugong. Just because that'll beat the Charmers in 2 shields, it'll beat Hypnos in 2 shields, it'll beat the Waters in 2 shields, and it'll still be handy against the other side, particularly against the bulky dark types, or the Eosetics, Umbreon and Scrafty and Xylus, which are sort of giving me problems at the minute. So that was good. And then, yeah, then I wanted something that was a bit more anti-Paragon, so Hypno, just general bulk. Psychic's going to resist. It's going to probably there's going to be the Psychic types on the opposing Paragon teams that are going to resist confusion, but other than that, nothing else is. You might see a few Empoleons. Can't think of any dark types that are in there. So, yeah, you might see a few Empoleons, but they're going to struggle with Thunder Punch anyway. So I'm going to run Thunder Punch and Shadow Ball, the sort of standard thing. Shadow Ball to hit the other Psychic types. So yeah, a fairly straightforward team build, really. Just hope it works out. And the first game is against everyone's favourite Sylph guy, present company excluded, of course, Trudi, who's gone with the other side. So she's got Venusaur, Beedrill, Skarmory, Toxicroak, Xylus, Galarian, Stunfisk. And this is... teams like this are why I want to bring Ninetales. Venusaur, Beedrill, Skarmory, Stunfisk aren't one going to stay in against Ninetales. Toxicroak isn't going to want to take a hit from it. Xylus, I mean, does it really want to take, what, probably 50%, I guess, from an overheat? So Ninetales is super threatening. Only really gets dealt with by Xylus, Stunfisk and Toxicroak, which Medi can deal with them all. And she's also looking a bit weak to Dugong as well. So, I mean, also weak to Swampert to a certain extent as well, but with the Xylus there, I don't want to bring Swampert and Ninetales, so it'll probably be one or the other in my lines. Okay, so I think Trudi has to bring Xylus here to deal with Ninetales properly. But she's also looking very weak to Hypno, which struggles with Xylus as well. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and catch the Xylus lead with Medicham. And then have Hypno in the back and Ninetales as a safe switch. Because if I do safe switch to Ninetales on a bad lead, that will lure out the Xylus. And then I'll be able to do a big chunk with overheat. Finish it off with counters from Medicham, and then Hypno's got having fun in the back. So let's see what happens there. Skarmory, so not good, of course, but I can go into the Ninetales. And she's staying in. Very interesting. I'm able to get the overheat first, so Here comes a shield, I'm almost certain. Yep. I'm not going to shield this. Brave Bird. Oh, and she switches. Now, why didn't she switch? So I don't think she's Protovirus. So because she had Protovirus, she'd have gone straight into it with Ninetales. So I'm going to switch to Medi. I'm going to shield it. I don't want to take an Earthquake. And once the power up punches start rolling, the counter damage will be able to deal a lot to the Skarmory when it comes back in. Or I'll be able to hit something very hard with a Psychic. So I'm just going to counter down now. I'll take an Earthquake from this one. Yeah, that's fine. Then counter. And then what's she going to bring in? Skarmory, so I've got the Power Punch. I'm almost at another one. And then, so if she has got Violet in the back here, that's an amazing play on her part. No, Venusaur, okay. So I think I just go for the confusion down here. Maybe try and get to double Thunder Punch. Because Venusaur is very fast to those Frenzy Plants. Oh, I made a mistake. Did I? I don't know. Yeah, I think she won that regardless. Because Venusaur's very, very fast. So that didn't go how I expected one bit. But it was interesting that she didn't bring Violet. What did she bring? She got Venusaur, Skarmory, Stunfisk, all of which will lose to Dugong, I think. So I'm going to leave Dugong this time. I want to keep Ninetales, and I like Medi as a safe switch. Trudi's just messaging me, making sure that's okay. She was a bit confused that I didn't go for a charge move at the end. Confusion down as she had a shield. So yeah, locking in the second time with Dugong, Ninetales, Medicham, I think, because yeah, I'm quite happy using Medicham as a safe switch. So let's see what she does, whether she adjusts. I've never used Dugong before, so it'd be interesting to see. I've never really rated it when I've come up against it, but I think it lends itself really well to this to the team that Trudi's got here. So let's see. Skarmory, so what have I got in the bag? Ninetales and Medi. So I could switch Ninetales in. You can see I'm running Blizzard because I didn't get enough charge TM. I didn't have enough charge TMs to. I'll tank a hit there. I didn't have enough charge TMs to get Water Pulse, so Blizzard will do fine. Very nearly switched into Medi. That could have been a disaster. I'm going to save the energy because between lowering her attack and then switching, that's all just inviting another switch on her part, isn't it? So I'm going to just 5 spin down here. Now let's see what happens. So my switch time is close to being back up as well, which is good because I'll be able to switch into Medi fairly soon. So she blocks the first OV, which is sensible. Doesn't block the second one. So can I 5 spin down? Probably not. Don't really want to go to Medi here. Oh, she gets 2. Clever. Right, okay. Yeah, I didn't want to switch to Medi because that would just open me up to a Venusaur or something to come in straight away. Straight away afterwards because I'm only going to need a couple of counters. But if she does go to Venusaur here, I'll be able to switch out. But she doesn't, goes to Skarmory, so it's Violet in the back perhaps? It's Violet in the back. A very topsy-turvy battle, but between getting these counter damages on Violet and the Icy Wind saved on Dugong, I think it's game, isn't it? So she's got double steal both times. And she's not rung Venusaur this time. Or indeed any of the poison types. So I might go Swampert. She's clearly adjusted this time to Xylus and Stunfisk to deal with the Ninetales. So I might bring Swampert instead of Ninetales this time. And I'll probably lead with that because I don't want to use it as a switch because I don't want it being trapped in versus Venusaur. So worst case scenario on a Swampert lead is that I hit Xylus or Venusaur. So I'd want to have Dugong as a switch into that. I'm expecting it to bring the Xylus rather than the Venusaur because I've not used my Togekiss yet. So between that and I've used Ninetales over both games. So Medicham in the back as well because that could be, with a bit of energy, I could land a Psychic on the Venusaur for the win. So that's what decided. So let's see what happens. Both been intense games. Swampert into Toxie. That's good. That's very good. Force the shield. It's interesting that she's going for the counter down here. Can I get to another Hydro Cannon? No, I'll let this go. Then I can get some counter damage rolling with Medicham. Okay, the power up punch is going. I'll shield this one. Probably switched a bit late there actually. Probably should have gone straight into Dugong. I will shield because I do not want to be taking a Brave Bird. And I'm going to go straight for the Blizzard to knock it out, so I don't have to take another move. Should not be expecting this, I don't think. Blizzard. Yeah. Now can I get to an Icy Wind? No. But that's quite okay, because I'll be able to counter down with Medicham even more. Oh! I can. I forget how bulky Dugong is, so I'm going to switch straight to Medicham. Oh great, she's got Stunfisk in the back, so hopefully I'll be able to do enough damage quick enough to finish this off. It's one of the downsides of using power-up punches, is that when the shields are down, it can often, well, it can be a bit dicey in terms of whether you're doing enough damage to kill things quickly enough. So it's going to be close because Earthquake is going to hurt. I don't know whether it'll kill from this range. Maybe. I think it will. I think it will. Come on, tank it, Medi. Oh, come on then. Come on then. Yes, what a game. What a fantastic game. Best buddy boost saving me there. Wow. What a fantastic game that was. Flipping heck. Great set in general, actually. Oh. Flipping heck. I hope every battle in this tournament's going to be that good, because that was incredible. What did you bring last game? Toxie, Scam, Stunfisk. Yeah, the double steal. Yeah, really well played, Trudi. Yeah, catch you next for the next one.